So where are you guys at with the business right now? Like, how much runway do you have?
If we can't figure this out with our meta ads, we're going to have to shut down our business. This just isn't sustainable.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
So I had a call exactly like this a few months ago, and I'm gonna show you everything that we did to transform this brand's results. Some of it is gonna be really easy, as simple as clicking a single button in Ads Manager, but some of it is gonna be a little bit more strategic. You might have to change some things in your business to make it work. But if you have an e-commerce brand in 2025, this is the new blueprint for survival. I've talked to hundreds of 8 and 9-figure brands this year, and the ones that were doing really well had these 4 things dangerously dialed in. And the last one is most important. I actually have not heard a lot of people talking about this recently. Number 1, we're gonna go over the new Meta Ads account structure. So within the next 60 seconds, I'm actually gonna show you my new go-to structure for scaling and testing on Meta Ads. And in fact, this brand actually did not have this structure. And once we implement it, it really helped turn things around. And I will say, I did just make this video a few months ago. And yeah, Meta made some new updates. This is already outdated. So what you need to know is this: ASC campaigns don't really exist anymore. And as a result, Ads Manager actually absorbed Advantage Plus as the default option for all of their sales campaigns. So even just a few months ago, we used to have manual campaigns, which included CBO and ABO, and then we also had Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. Now we can still choose whether or not to use CBO or ABO, but the Advantage Plus machine learning is powering both of those things. Now, with that said, you can still do a fully manual campaign without using any of the Advantage Plus extra juice, but to be honest, I don't recommend doing that. So what I do recommend as a structure is this. It's going to be a 2-campaign base structure. You're going to have 1 testing campaign, and I really do prefer to use ABO these days because I find that you're able to quickly test, figure out which ones are winners, and scale up a lot more quickly. Now, inside of this testing campaign, you're still going to be segmenting your tests by ad set. However, really big change here, we're keeping like 10 to 20, sometimes more ads in each test now. So I am no longer testing ads with 3 to 6 variations. So for instance, say I'm going to be doing an image test. I will actually try for images specifically to have 20 to 25 ads inside of that testing ad set. And I'll really try to keep the variations minimal here. So if I'm going to be testing a, features call out image, I will only do 2, maybe 3 variations of that, but I will try to keep the other 20 images really different and taking really big swings on the visual differentiation amongst those creatives. That's really how I'm finding better results these days. Similar with video too, but when I am testing UGC, for instance, I tend to like to have 10 to 15 ads inside of those ad sets. I'm not trying to go up to 25. Now, coming out of the testing campaign, I still do like to have a scaling or winning ads campaign. I really do find when you have your winning ads learning from one another, that does tend to result in the best scalable audience long term. And inside the scaling campaign, even though you can have multiple ad sets now, I actually do like to have just 1 ad set where I am putting all of the top performing creatives in there. Sometimes, we'll start off with 1 to 2 creatives that are winning for a new brand, for instance, but then we'll go up to more than 50 ads at any given time. The thing that I've been testing now is having a new campaign for each winning product or specific offer. I'm really curious to hear if you guys are doing that differently, if you're putting that in the same scaling campaign. I like to keep it separate for now so that I can sort of faux manufacture the old ASC campaigns. Let me know if you have questions about that. Happy to answer in the comments. Now, Number 2, you need to build your brand with LTV and AOV in mind. And I'm gonna have some really cool examples here to show you, so be sure to stay locked in on this one. So a lot of brands, including this brand, were really concerned about their CPCs and CPMs, and they thought that if they were just able to make better creative, that those things would magically go down. Well, here's the thing, that's not how it works. CPM is largely a function of the industry. So even if you do get the best creative creative in the world, that doesn't mean that the algorithm is going to reward you with significantly lower CPMs. Especially if you're advertising in the USA, you candidly do not have a shot in hell at having a sustainable business that uses meta ads as the main lever unless you are getting people to buy your products multiple times and you have enough budget to actually acquire the best customers possible. So every time I'm about to work with a brand, I actually do this specific analysis. Number one, are the products inherently problem solution oriented? If the answer is yes, that's a good thing because it's going to be a lot quicker to acquire people from a meta ad if your product or service is immediately solving a pain point. The second thing that I try to determine is, okay, if these products are problem solution oriented, is it possible to create a more strategic bundle of products so that we can increase the AOV? And then, is there high LTV potential, aka repeat purchasers? If I can answer yes to all of these things, that's when I get really excited about working with a brand. Now, when conducting this research, I love using Particle to figure out what bundles and product mixes are actually selling for brands. Here you can see real-time sales data for some of the top brands in D2C. Particle is a longtime friend of this channel. They are also sponsoring this video, so I actually wanted to show you behind the scenes on some of the great bundles that are moving the needle for some of our favorite brands. For instance, Rode by Hailey Bieber, getting a lot of great press on that acquisition they had recently, but you can actually see in Particle that 4 of the 5 best-selling products are all bundles. Glossier had a really similar story. 2 of their 3 best-selling products are also bundles. Mudwater was a really interesting one for me. Here you can see that 3 of the top 5 best-selling products they have are either driving better LTV or that better AOV. Bloom was another one, top product as a bundle. And then Hexclad, we can also see those 2 bundles really moving a lot of product for them. Now, Particle is going to be giving you guys a free 14-day trial through this channel. I highly recommend checking it out. And yes, I have access to some of these brands' Shopify, and I can tell you that the data is incredibly accurate. All right, now let's move on to number 3. Partnership ads. So I know that if a brand is running significant spend on Meta and they are not leaning into partnership ads, then they are playing Meta ads on hard mode. And I'm also going to show you guys several ways to test this out for free. This is a really common objection that I hear about partnership ads, that it's too expensive to work with creators. It's not. There are several ways you can try it without creators or creators for free. So let's dive into partnership ads because there's a lot to cover here. So first things first, this is not your 2022, you should try whitelisting advice. Whitelisting and partnership ads are actually completely different. And this really is the thing that is radically transforming performance for brands. And if you guys remember in both of my ad spend interviews with Seed Health as well as Jones Road Beauty, the top performing creative for both of those brands were partnership ads. But it works for small brands too. And we're going to get into that in a second. Just hold on. So yes, even though partnership ads and whitelisting are different, I would consider partnership ads being the way that brands are shifting to working with creators. Whitelisting is absolutely being phased out. But here's how they are technically different. Whitelisting is when you run your ads directly through a creator's handle. And this was honestly a pretty complicated process for a while, where a creator had to give you access to their Facebook account and their Instagram account through their business manager, and it was an ordeal. But essentially, you could run your ads through a creator's handle, but all of the data that I was using to optimize those ads were based off of your pixel and your ads manager, not necessarily the creator's handle or audience. Now, partnership ads are very different in that they actually do help brands tap into a new audience, which is based on the page learnings of a creator. And yes, this also includes small creators. And this is why it's been such a huge driver for brands who want to tap into new audiences and ultimately scale. Now, I will say one of the big concerns that people have about partnership ads is that they think they look like this and have in partnership with. And what's actually interesting is you can still do partnership ads, but just run it through the creator handle. So when a user or someone on Instagram or Facebook is scrolling through their feed, it's going to show up exactly how a whitelisted piece of creative would, but it's just a lot easier to set up. Now, I have seen drastic improved performance just by using partnership ads recently. And I actually typically allow the algorithm to decide how it shows up uniquely for each user. And of course, doing this with creators should be the goal. This absolutely should be the thing that you're investing in and testing out. But if you want to try out partnership ads for free, here are a few ways that you can do it before you go all in. Number one, founder ads. Take your founder's Instagram handle and do partnership ads with that handle. This is something that I've tested and seen a lot of success from even within the last month. And something that I actually found out that was a real perk of partnership ads is that you only need their Instagram handle to run partnership ads, whereas whitelisting, you needed the Facebook group. This is something that I learned just the other day from the Foxwell Founders group. Now, another way you can test this out for free is you can create a new publication or a new Facebook page.
And my secret tip here is you want to make this name of the page something that is problem solution oriented or more aspirational in nature. I found that if you're able to do one of these two things, it really adds a lot of helpful additional context for the user and honestly makes them way more likely to click and convert if you're making sure that it's meeting one of those two things.
And number three, which is also going to lead us to number four, is by using partnership ads with your in-house creators' handles. Which brings us to number four. Let's talk about in-house creators. This is one of the biggest trends that I've seen with creative teams, and it's the number one growth lever that I am suggesting for brands of all sizes right now. Because the thing that I've seen with brands that really struggle with creative production versus the ones that don't is because they have creators in-house or they have creators on retainer. So instead of reaching out to different creators month after month and going through this long, arduous process of negotiating with different creators and going on different platforms, simply work with the ones again and again that really bring you results. Now, I've seen a few different models for this. Number one, the in-house creator model. Now, I was actually surprised to hear how affordable something like this could be. We've been able to hire in-house creators for under $2,000, so anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800 to create 2 pieces of content per day and post to their unique brand handle on Instagram or TikTok. Now, bonuses are given for going viral, and they generally are smaller creators. And I found that being able to really tap into the UGC community here works really well. But for this brand, when they were able to implement an in-house creator, this was the thing that took them from 100K months to $1 million months. Now, the second model that I've seen is creator on retainer. So essentially, you're going to pay a creator a salary to create a certain number of assets per month. And I'll actually be diving into the way that Caraway does this on the next ad spend episode. So be sure to subscribe so that you can listen to that. But I found that, this is actually really good to do when you have bigger creators who are really performing well for you, particularly on the partnerships ad side of things. And this can range anywhere from $1,000 for an asset or two up to $3,000, $4,000 per month per creator. But again, it's going to be highly dependent on the type of production you're having them do and the amount of assets that they're producing. This in-house creator thing or creator on retainer is something that I'm really pushing brands over the next few months to implement because of the rise of, that light just went out, because of the rise of partnership ads and how much we're really seeing this move the needle for brands. Being able to have that content that's already going viral on organic, on tap, at our disposal has honestly been a huge game changer for how our performance is on Meta any given month. So I'm so curious to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments if your brands are doing all 4 of these or which ones you're missing. Maybe I can help make a video that's diving into the ones that you guys are still going through the process on or have yet to implement. But I really can't emphasize enough, this is the blueprint. This is how you're going to succeed moving into 2026. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.